Seriously, seriously, boys and girls. Seriously, boys and girls, oh my God, boys and girls. Is there anything else? The only reason I'm asking you that is because Mary Jane's coming out. She's naked. I dress up Mary Jane. When I take my chicks out, I fix them right up to the collar. That's what I do with the girls. All right? Mary Jane's with us. Don't worry. Don't worry if your young kids are around with Mary Jane. She's always dressed, and she's hot. We can even light her up in front of the kids. She ain't showing no skin. In fact, the only skin she gets... You know what I do with Mary Jane after that? Goodbye, Mary Jane. Goodbye, Mary Jane. She's going down for a look. Okay, Mary Jane. You see anything down there, Mary Jane? She now connected to some of my organs, Mary Jane. And whoa, she's in my head. Oh, my God. I got a chick in my head. Just don't call me Barbie and Ken. Ken means yes in Hebrew. Ken. Just bend over a little bit more, Ken. We'll show you all your sex organs were missing at the beginning, so we don't know how Ken you are. I want to show you something on this number. This is the third time. And even when I look at it, I'm thinking of, like, it looks like a Scirocco, like a car that's a Scirocco. Okay, Volkswagen right away. But what I'm going to do to this over here is take this 0, okay, and make it the 15th letter, and then I put it over here. And I take the S, which is the 19th letter, 1 and 9 is 1, and I put it over here. The S looks like a 5, so I said, screw that. I threw everything out that I was doing. I started over, and I said, let's start at the beginning. 3 times 2 in the day of BC, when man came to be. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 and 6 is 11. The same scenario where artificial entertainment comes about and hooks up to the electronic. It's simple. I'm just saying the word electronic, ego, mantistical, whatever you want to call him. But he's a K and an E because he is the key. He is the key way. W, W, the sound of the letter V in French is W. In English, it's a W for the letter W, all 666 in Chaldene. Okay? And I'm going to show you why 666. Okay? Because the O is the 15th letter, we always replace it with 15 no matter what goes on. It's in the front. The S, which is number 5, we put number 5. The 1 looks like a 1, we put number 1. But the R letter turns into a 1 and a 2. If you ever look at the Mayan writing, this R is a symbol of 1 and 2. And I don't care what anybody does, I can show it to you. I can show it to you online. You can look it up. Look for Mayan engravings on carpets nowadays. See what they do with it. And it doesn't matter. It's because what my mind connected here to whatever I've connected previous to whatever I have connected is the value on my explanation of the definition in my vision. Okay? ISO, Internal Revenue Service. Anyways, what is the ISO? ISO 9002, it's of something to do with perfection. Okay, so anyways, when we read out all these numbers, we end up with 051, 12, which is the R, see the same R? 150, Ford 150, doesn't it look like this part can look like the F the way it's got its 2 indentations? Ford 150, no. Now we'll take the 0 and make it its 15 value, because all zeros are equal to 15. We get 15, 51, 5, 15, 51, because I would reverse it on the other side just the way it is. I can do it this way too. But what I'm going to show you is number 47. 47 times Jesus, 74, multiplied by 33, the number of the Christ, 3 and 3, equals to a total of 1,551. If you multiply 50, okay, times 47 equals 2,350. If you multiply If you multiply 47 by 47 equals to 2209 plus 1551 equals to the time of 3760. Time of the calendar, 3760, and 1 into the Julian calendar, but now we're going to go to the Gregorian. And let's just say the Gregorian is 2,000 years old. This is to the exact time we are in right now. 3760 in the year 2000 is the year 5760. Put 14 more Hebrew New Years on this. Put 14 more years onto this, and you have the maximum you can get on the dice. 7 and 7 and 14 of the halfway of the moons. 1 times 4 and 1 plus 4 in the AD 1 and 4, 5. Not BC 2 and 3, 5. Okay, equals to 5774, and this year we're coming into December is 5775, the same way it's 2015. The same way it's 2015 is because of the 15 of the 15 of the 15 of the 15, and all down, is it Rotis, Soro, or is it all down low shoe where you count 15 everywhere? 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 1, 6. Is that the way we count it? Which way do you want to count it? 15 by 15 is 225. Two and a quarter. Why is it 2 1/4? Something's wrong with that figure. I did this figure and I don't like this answer for another reason. 9 times 25. I don't like that answer. Something's wrong here. Okay, 364. 364 and a quarter. Yes, it was okay. Yes. It was a percentage of something. So we do see over here that Jesus Christ, number 47, which is the number for time, multiplied by his number, 33, equals to 1551. At the same time, this number in the center is 1 times 2 because it's of the two sides, and it's 1 plus 2. It's 3 and 2 equals 5. So you have 5 and 1, 6, 5 and 1, 6, 5, 5 and 1, 6, 5 and 1, 6. NWO is 556. 556. Lovejoy is all about 3. Well, let's go a little bit further. We're going to take 1 times 5 and 1 plus 5, and 1 times 5 and 1 plus 5. Both end up equaling to 11, equaling to 22. 2 and 2 is 4. This side will say 4, this side will say 4, it'll say 4, 5, 4. 5 and 6 and 5 and 6, okay, over here, 5 and 6 and 5 and 6, and 5 and 5, because you have to go 1 and 5 and 1 and 5, okay, I might have made some sort of mistake here, let me see. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, that equals to 11, and this one equals to 11 is 22. I don't know where I got this one from. Okay, but we're going to come up with one more number. There's one more number I want to show up over here. 111 and 211. Okay, why it's 111 and 211 is because it's separate times. One has the Spirit in it, and one doesn't. 311 says the whole Spirit, and 411 has everything. Why? Because if you go to 4, well, 4 would be 4.5, right? Everything carries the 5 with it. Everything's in the E. It would be 4, it'd be 430. 5 be 530. So that'd be 135 degrees and unexplanatory. When I did this over here, 6 and 5, 11 and 1 is 12, plus the 12 that's in the center, plus the 12 that'll be on this side because it's a reflection of this 12. Okay? You don't have to add them up. Don't worry about it. Okay? 6 and 6 is 12. What you just have to do is 12, 12, 12. 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 2 is 3, 1 and 2 is 3. Lovejoy. Right inside this thing over here. I don't get it. I know I made a mistake somewhere, but I keep coming up with the same answer. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. So this becomes 11, 11. This becomes 22, so it becomes 4, 5, 4. Okay, that would be my real answer. I don't know where we got Lovejoy, only other, yes, in order to get Lovejoy, yes, sure, 4, 5, 4 would be perfect for Lovejoy. Of course, what am I talking about? Because I added it to 12, 12, 12 is 3, 3, 3. Again, back to the position of Lovejoy. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. Oh my God, oh my God, all the numbers are just so beautiful. JOR is where I'm from, and just inside this over here, the S's can be reflected of the J. Why? Because J carries the 9. J carries the 9. J is A and I. J is T and H, but T and H, everybody know it's Venus. It's the head, but it's not 1 and 9. 1 and 9 is the character. Is it not? I'm the yellow, 1 and 9. Both worlds, 1 and 9, yeah. 2 and 8, both worlds, yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about blue? You got 12 total. One is a 2, one is a 10. One is saying the lowest is 2, one is saying the highest is 10. That means you are connected to the 8th skull, Neptune. 3 and 7 says you have your wings. 4 and 6 gives you your XX life. I don't know how it works. I only tell you definition under the basic knowledge of what I think better seems fits the moment for that answer. That sounds terrible. That's the way I talk. That's what you guys listen to. Oh my God, and there's 200 people here, and I'm getting 100 hits a day, and you guys are listening to my words like this. Is there a better way I can explain something? Can we do it better to make this better for all of us? You'll understand, and I'll learn, or something like that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that with Moses, what the greatest thing about BC and AC, okay, is BC, number 23. Number 23 recreates the same thing as what Jesus is, 1 and 5. Number 32 recreates the same thing. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2. 3 times 2, 3 plus 2 equals 5 and 6. If you check the center of 1, 4, and 7, 2, 3, 5, and 6 is 1, 4, and 7 is in between. But if you're starting in the secondary world, the actual one that goes first is the 2. I can't forget that. 2 goes first, 1 is not there. 1 is not there. Like I said yesterday, somehow A starts on H. It doesn't start on C. It belongs to C somehow, but C is only a show card. It shows where A and B goes. Hey guys, look, here's A, here's B. They're coming to play. Let's crisscross them and play them on 2 days, on 2 sides. Okay? And so this is what 3 is going to look like in 3 different worlds. So we mishmashed the cards up like this and said, this is how it's going to look. These are the blueprints. So man gets a couple of blueprints and he says, holy shit, I'm building the Eiffel Towers. I'll raise you 5. Playing poker with blueprints of the world. Then 4 came to notation, so they put the 4 corners in of the floor that they had. Was it a round floor or is it a square floor? I wonder how much easier it is. Is it easier to cut a round or a square? It's easier to cut straight, no? Is it not easier to cut straight? Well, let's cut it all straight. Let's just cut it straight. Wouldn't it be great if we could cut it straight and just push this paper against my hand and it'll deflect until it makes the same shape as my hand? That's what matrix is all about. It can really, I don't know how it works, my friends, but it's molecules of some sort of crazy shit. I'm telling you. The biggest part about matrix is space and what you don't see. Oh, but you can only imagine. Oh my God. Or not. So we finished with this over here, and then I wanted to show you that Moses, okay, not only Moses, but the Fibonacci, 987, when you get to 987, okay, it already explains the complete, I mean, with Fibonacci, the higher you go in the numbers, the more you've come into the game. I mean, you can make numbers go forever. How many numbers do you want to count? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? You don't need the rest. Life isn't any more than a few numbers. And like I said, here's number 1. Well, tell him to get out of my way. Here's number 1. Well, tell him to get out of my way. Here's number 1. Which one do you want? But the one in the middle tears everything in half. He becomes the difference between the two sides, the one in the middle. He shows half on each side. He shows half on the other side. He now connects the 3. The arms of the clock, the ruler. I don't know where I'm going, but I do know one day I will get somewhere with this. I will speak about it and mention it and see other stories slowly. Slowly, very slow, very slow. Very, very slow, very slow. Very slow. Even with Mary, it's very slow. But you don't shut up. You keep your mouth moving, you keep your mind moving. It still goes slow, but starts to connect. So when we finished with Moses, 987, okay, 987 plus 789 equals 1776. This is when Moses was around in 2209, 1550 years. They changed the calendar later. Same 1551 on the other side. 1551. Half of 1551. Does anybody know what half of 1551 is? Do you know what half of 1551 is? I'm going to show you. Do you mind sticking around for a couple more minutes? 1551 times 5. Right? Times 5, because that's half up or half down. It still cuts it in half, right? 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. Five times 5 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. I'm keeping everything in the same area. 5 times 1 is 5. What year you have? 5775. This is the year now. Do you want to do it another way? Let's do it another way. We want to bring it in half. We want to turn this in half. And when we turn it over, we bring it back to a single digit in each of its own categories. So if I put 1 in half, 1 in half of 1 in half equals 5. 1 in half is equals 5. Why? 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Half of 5 is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. So to finish it off, we have 5775, okay? And this shows the 14th of October on this, okay? Why does this show the 14th of October? Because it's the first spirit with the last spirit, which is your 6. 7 and 7 is your 5. This is the wolf, okay? That's to remember. But 5 and 5 are the two worlds. This is the stop sign. This is the egg, E and G. This is your George. This is your gold. This is your everything over here. 5772 of your 86. How would I do that? Is it your 72 of your 86? 51, 50, 55, and 11 is 66. No matter. No, I don't want to count that. So we see that calendar date of 3760 or 61, but it should say 3757. And if you say 3757 and you take the third world, if you take the third world, okay, and put it at number 1, instead of saying number 1, we say number 34 equals 1 to DC. 34 equals DC. But when you go into the Chaldean world and you take I and R, 1 and 2, you have 37. That becomes number 31, which goes all the way up to number 19 and creates the entirety of the P of who you are. That's what I see. I see it because 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4, 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, 12, 1 and 3 and 4 is 7 and 12 is 19. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 5, 5 and 7 is the year we're in again. It's all about us, my friends. It's all about us. I don't see it or understand it wholly myself. Sometimes I can't remember. It's when Mary Jane jacks herself in a little bit more, I start to pretend and think, and this is what I see when I do. But I really believe it. Oh, for sure. I don't make anything up. I don't make anything up. The stories, I mean, I have to put together the way you have to come into this world and float with me. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I'm going to name out 3 people. Okay? Thank you for watching this video.